Life Crew Podcast.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Jareth.
And I'm Deborah.
And we're the Full Life Crew. We are a husband and wife, been married 24 years. We have 8 kids, and we run and drive an ice cream truck, a Tiki shaved ice and ice cream truck. This is our Just Stuff podcast, and why are we doing this? Because we have a couple other podcasts. We have one on parenting, one on marriage. We have another one, it's just general advice. But then we just wanted to do a podcast where it's just stuff.
Fun stuff.
Different stuff.
Yeah, just stuff.
Just stuff.
Everyday stuff.
So today we're actually talking about a local topic.
Yes, we are.
But before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing and you want to support the cause and you want to save money, make sure you go to our website at fulllifecrew.com/save. And at that website, there are lots of opportunities for you to save money. For instance, we have the Upside app, and there's a special code there where you can use, and I personally have saved just on a few uses, 20-something bucks, and you've used it too, right?
I've also used it, and I also have saved probably $20.
So we saved $40 between the two of us.
Hey, it's a win-win.
That's pretty good. So if you want to save $40 and go download the Upside app, we also have other things there too. We have a lot of brands that reach out to us and we work with, and there's a lot of special deals and savings there for you. So it's fulllifecrew.com/save. So today we're talking about the I-10 bridge.
And most of the United States has heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, like it makes national news.
I didn't know it made national news.
Yeah, it was all over the Today Show at one time. I think it was the Today Show, or one where the president that was in office at the time was going to build us a bridge because this bridge was so bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people cross over this bridge every day that don't live here, that have no idea how dangerous this bridge is.
A lot, because it's the interstate. Like, you travel there to get from Texas to Mississippi.
Yeah, so if you've traveled along I-10 and you travel through Louisiana going into Texas, there's a good chance you have been on this bridge.
Yes, it's been there forever.
And you are taking a chance with your life every time you cross it. Actually, I cross the bridge quite often.
We cross it all the time.
It is a little nerve-wracking.
I took it yesterday. I went to Lake Charles and I took that bridge yesterday. But it's had its fair share of incidents.
Yep.
There's been fires. There's been wrecks. There's actually been vehicles go over the edge of it.
So I have this video here of the Lake Charles Bridge. At night, it's kind of majestic a little bit. You can see in the background, that is not the city. Those are giant refineries. You remember the movie Back to the Future 2?
Yes.
And you remember the scene where Marty comes back and he sets what was his girlfriend's name? I don't remember her name.
I don't remember.
But he sets his girlfriend on the porch and he's like, man, something don't look right. And then that's the movie where Biff had gotten the almanac and he became a multimillionaire. There was a giant casino he lived in, and then all the town, there was refineries all around the town. Well, now Lake Charles is basically Biff. I call it Biff Town.
Biff Town.
Yeah.
See, I think you were more into the movie than I was because I don't remember so many details.
If you want to know what Lake Charles is like and you don't live here, then go watch Back to the Future 2. And when you see Biff's casino, we have casinos here.
We do.
And then we have a bunch of refineries.
Yep.
And so to me, Lake Charles reminds me of Back to the Future 2.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Maybe we are Back to the Future.
Yeah. So anyway, this is some aerial footage of the bridge and the surrounding area. It's really, it's really a pretty cool looking bridge. There's a casino right there off to the left.
It is a cool bridge. It has like decorative. It's been built. When was it built?
Oh, I had that coming up. So the I-10 bridge was built in 1952 as the Earl K. Long. We had, remember Governor Long?
No, I wasn't born in 1952,
well,
so I don't remember him.
You didn't study about him in school?
I'm sure I did, but...
He was the guy that wanted to give everybody everything for free.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but it was part of the U.S. Highway 90 system.
Okay.
So it wasn't part of the interstate.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think this bridge was ever meant to handle the load it's under now. It was never designed to take the traffic it takes every day now.
Yeah, because it says 8 years after it was built, it became part of I-10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 70 years, traffic has increased along the I-10 corridor. And that's even with, we have a second bridge here in Lake Charles called the 210 Bridge.
We do. It's like a bypass.
Well, there's this big controversy about this bridge because it's dangerous. So I found this pretty cool. This is a photo of when they were building the bridge, when it was built back in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I have some other photos here. But the bridge was never meant to handle the load it's under now. Here's just what a normal afternoon normally looks like. There's usually a wreck on the bridge. And you can see this really low medium. And then, I don't know if you can notice over here, but the guardrails, they're just little wire fences.
They are.
This is a picture of a truck that caught fire on the I-10 bridge. Let's see. I also have a video of it. So I have a video of it here. This is a video of an 18-wheeler that burst into flames. There was an accident and it burst into flames. And this is what you saw from the ground.
Got a fire on the I-10 bridge. You're coming through Lake Charles. Do not take I-10. You will be a while, folks.
Like, that just doesn't even seem like, the bridge should even be holding up with a fire that huge,
That's a big fire.
That is a big fire. Can you imagine the heat that's going into the concrete?
I like the guy. He's like, if you're coming through Lake Charles.
Don't come out. But you hear that all the time. If you're going through Lake Charles, don't go I-10, there's a wreck.
If you live here, there's always a slowdown, there's always a wreck. Whoever designed this bridge, they designed the on-ramp on the westbound side. If you're headed eastbound and you get on right there at the Westlake exit, it's literally like rolling the dice.
Well, it's on both sides. The entrance, yeah, because if you're going westbound, the entrance is right there at the base of the bridge. If you're going eastbound, the entrance is right there at the base of the bridge.
But I'm talking about that one where you have to loop around really fast.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's coming, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. And you literally have like 25 yards.
To pick up speed.
To get up to speed and get on the bridge. It's like a terrible design. Like they should fix that before they fix anything else.
Well, like they said, like you read, though, it wasn't actually built for the interstate. It was built for Highway 90, so they just kind of threw it out there and said, hey, guess what?
This is another video from years back where two 18-wheelers, well, it's not a video, it's just a picture, but two 18-wheelers fell off the bridge. Could you imagine? If I was a truck driver, there's been a truck catch on fire, there's always a wreck, and then you got people, 18-wheelers falling off the bridge. I would tell my employer, or if I own the truck, I'm not going over that bridge.
Sorry, I'm out. Like, look where it fell. I mean, it's like all the siding is gone.
It just blew it all out.
Like, it's all gone.
Because it's not really a guardrail that you would see on a bridge. I remember it has like little pistols on it because, we used to celebrate contraband days here.
Yeah.
But then they got rid of contraband days because they said that Jean Lafitte was a slave trader.
Okay.
And so they don't call it contraband days anymore. They call it the Pirate Festival. But anyway.
But they still had the little pistols on the sides.
They have little pistols on the bridge, which is decorative, but it's like a little wire fence you would put around your garden or something. It's not going to stop a multi-ton vehicle from just barreling over the edge.
And this proves it.
Let's see here.
Another fire.
Well, I think that is the actual fire that we saw the video of.
Okay.
This here is during one of the hurricanes. I forget which hurricane it is.
Probably Laura.
Was it Laura? No, Laura or Rita? Yeah, during hurricane. You're right. During
Laura.
Hurricane Laura. So the cost of during Hurricane Laura, this is a casino.
It was a boat.
This is Biff's Casino.
That was the casino boat that was on the water, and during Hurricane Laura, it broke free from where it was docked and tied up, and it basically floated into the bridge.
Do you remember when the casinos where they had to actually drive the river boats?
Yes. out into the water.
So if you don't know about Lake Charles voted to open gaming so they could build these casinos here. And one of the things they did was they made this deal where the casino had to be a riverboat casino. You couldn't do gambling on the land. You could do on the water.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, what is wrong with you people? That's so stupid. So they built these giant riverboats with paddle wheels that worked.
Yeah.
And so then the riverboat would go out and it would
make a circle
and come back. And you'd get on the boat and you'd be gambling and you couldn't get off the boat till it got back. Well, then for some reason, they must have changed the law and that just all stopped.
Yeah, so then it just stayed docked all the time.
Yeah. So then it was like you're just gambling on a barge. It's a barge with a building built on top of it.
Well, during Hurricane Laura, it broke loose because Hurricane Laura, I still think, was a Category 5. And it broke free and hit the bridge.
It says here the bridge is famous for its low rating and its age. So they go around and they rate the bridges across the country, and it has one of the lowest ratings that you can get. So
I-10 in Lake Charles is closed for emergency repairs. It's on that huge bridge over the Calcasieu River, and if you've ever driven across it, you won't forget it. State police posted a photo of the problem that has closed I-10 East there. One of the seams where the concrete comes together has a broken piece of metal. Tonight, I-10 eastbound is closed as they carry out those emergency repairs. DOTD says the closure is expected to last into the evening.
Now, this actually happens from time to time where they actually have to close the bridge because of some piece of it just breaking off.
Yes.
So this does happen from time to time.
But this was a while back, and nobody knew it, and somebody that was driving across said, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Called it in, and then all of a sudden there's this emergency shutdown. I think the report we got that day was indefinitely. They don't know when. So it was like everybody was trying to take the other route, which leads to serious congestion around here.
So we are getting a new bridge, supposedly, but we're going to have to pay a toll.
Yes, which I don't understand why a toll. On an interstate, I don't think there's any other spot on an interstate where you pay a toll.
Maybe not on a federal road because the interstate is a federal road, but the bridge itself is, I don't know.
But
that'd be interesting to find out. If you know if there is any other tolls on a main interstate, well, I know there's none from here to California.
Yeah, because you just took that interstate.
I just did that a while back. But anyway, let's watch. So we do have a new bridge coming. Let's see what she says.
He has officially signed onto a public-private partnership with I-10 Bridge Partners. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Jefferson. The signing took place this morning in Baton Rouge. Teresa Smith reports on what happens next.
The public-private partnership sign formalizes the agreement between the state and private investors to build a bridge in 7 years and pay for it using a toll. But State Senator Mark Abraham says it doesn't end the dialogue. He says they will still push for money to pay for construction and to reduce tolls.
Our area stepped up. We agreed to pay a toll. So because we agreed to do that, could you still help us out? You've given other areas of the country $500 million, $1 billion for bridges that are just as old as ours. So since we stepped up as a community, can you help us out?
And while the contract is signed, parts can be adjusted depending on the financial circumstances. For example, they have applied for $200 million from Washington.
Written in the contract is a metric model that says if you receive X amount of dollars, you can apply it evenly to all the tolls, or we might decide to have the local five-parish area not pay a toll if we got enough money to do that. So that will be negotiated.
The revised toll rates are lower than first.
So there's going to be a toll because there's a private group, I guess, getting involved somehow. I don't know. I'd have to look more into that. I haven't really paid attention to this, but look at the large truck. So think about if you're a large truck driver. There's a bunch of things like, first of all, $8.25 to cross the bridge, or $12.36 to cross the bridge is what you'll be charged as a large truck. And you could potentially fall off and die. Well, obviously, I guess maybe the new bridge would be much safer. But I just think that's kind of interesting and funny, and then so people wonder why everything costs so much. Well, here's a prime example of how government and lack of their responsibility is going to cost more money, because that $12 is going to get passed on to the consumer. That truck driver is going to pay it, but they're just going to raise the cost of the transportation, which ends up being into the cost of your everyday goods and services.
First proposed, Abraham says they will strive to reduce the burden on truckers and anyone who crosses the bridge multiple times a day.
We have 7 years before the toll starts, so Southwest Louisiana will try to negotiate a cap so that the local trucking companies that travel multiple times a day will not get hit really, really hard.
Another source of funds, if the toll makes a profit, 15% goes to the state to be used in this area. Teresa Schmidt, 7 News.
Next stop, to continue I-10 bridge.
So I imagine us, because we have a big truck.
Yeah.
Our tiki truck is a big truck. I wonder if that's going to be 25 cents or if we're going to have to pay more money. And we do cross that bridge quite a lot with the tiki truck.
Yeah. I feel that I personally think that I-210 will become busier than I-10 for the locals now. Yeah. Because I-210 will still be free, whereas if the locals have to pay for I-10, they may just be like, we'll just add in an extra 10 minutes on our travel time.
So one of the other issues that is part of the problem why they haven't built a bridge is, I'm going to stop this video here. Underneath the bridge on this side, you can see in the background there's a bunch of lights. That is a chemical refinery. And apparently there was a spill under the bridge at one time that leaked in this area. And so when they start construction, the Environmental Protection Agency or somebody in the environmental scene is saying that when you disturb that soil, you're going to release those chemicals that the soil has absorbed, and it's going to go back into the water, the estuary, and could be a problem for wildlife. So that's another.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a big controversy too, about that right there.
Okay, so the new bridge, they'll build it next to this one?
I have not a clue. I don't know. I haven't looked at the designs. I do know it's going to be shorter.
It did look shorter.
Well, when you approach the bridge, it is extremely tall looking.
Well, okay. At one time, couldn't a ship go underneath it?
Yeah, there used to be I don't know if it was a naval base or they just had something, a shipyard. Maybe they worked on Navy ships.
Okay.
But they did have something where big ships had to cross underneath the bridge. But that is no longer a thing. There's no big ships that go up the river anymore.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to have a bridge that is that tall.
That tall.
I do know. You remember when we would tow the RV? It would be difficult. And 18-wheelers, if they're not up to speed when they hit this bridge, they lose speed. They have a hard time getting over it because it is so steep.
It is steep.
But yeah, the I-10 bridge. So next time you're traveling through Lake Charles, be advised the bridge you're traveling on is really, really old. It's falling apart.
If you do get stuck on it in a traffic jam, you do feel it sway and wobble.
Feel it. You feel it.
You get a little it gets you nervous.
I don't know where you are with Jesus, but a traffic jam on that bridge, you may spend some time reconnecting.
Yeah.
But we do have a new bridge that's planned to come, and I just find this so interesting. Bifftown Casino hits local bridge. That's what it should say, Bifftown Casino. I'm going to start calling Lake Charles Bifftown.
Where you live, Bifftown?
Bifftown. I don't know. Was that what it was called in the movie?
I don't remember. Like I said, I think you were more into Back to the Future than I was. Yeah. I'm going to have to go watch it now, though.
We could probably. You know what? Let's do this real quick before we go. Kind of looks like a Lake Charles neighborhood. Maybe not that quite drastic.
Not that drastic.
This is a little embellished. They did find 2 bodies the other day in a house.
That is correct.
They have an abandoned building. We do have an abandoned skyscraper.
Oh, I passed that building yesterday,
Yeah.
and the bottom of it is complete. It's just holes. Yeah.
We'll talk about that some more. But we do have abandoned buildings, big buildings. That's a familiar sound. Yeah.
Pleasure paradise.
Pleasure Paradise. It even looks like one of our casinos, you know. And what's that dude? He owns Landry's. He looks like the guy that owns Landry's. For Teta or whatever his name is.
Maybe we are living in Back to the Future.
Maybe we are in Bifftown. Because the guy that owns the Golden Nugget,
Yeah.
he looks like that guy. And he's got a big old yacht. He's got a helicopter to come park his yacht at the casino.
Yeah, we're in Bifftown.
We're in Bifftown.
But we're going to get a new bridge.
Oh, look, there you go. Look, that's what it is. There's the casino and there's the refineries in the background. This is Lake Charles.
Wow. We're living a movie.
Well, anyway, we hope you enjoyed this one on our local area in the bridge. And remember, if you're crossing the bridge,
The I-10
the
bridge.
I-10 bridge, remember, life's a journey.
Enjoy the ride.
Hang on for dear life.